8 very smart and hidden references to the art world in Squid Game. These will completely change the way you see the series, and you'll understand the origins behind some of the show's most iconic scenes. Let's jump right into it. 1. The Scream by EDVARD MUNCH. One of the most obvious artistic references in Squid Game comes in the first episode when the bloody games start taking place. Echoing Norwegian painter and printmaker EDVARD Munch's artwork, The Scream, the series recreates the androgynous figure's expression of anguish, setting the tone for what's to come. The Scream was a testimony to Munch's own anxiety. The despair, anguish, and fear featured in this painting reflect the human condition. It symbolizes modern man carried away by a crisis of existential anxiety, inspired by a crisis that the artist recounts in his diary saying, "I was walking on a path with 2 friends, the sun was setting, all of a sudden the sky turned blood red. Shaking with anxiety, I felt an endless cry passing through the universe tearing nature apart." This description fits very well this scene in episode 1, where this participant takes a splash of blood in the face and realizes that the elimination of a player announces his death. A movement of panic follows. Then, a massacre, which can be likened to the anxiety attack represented by Munch's painting. 2. Relativity by M.C. Escher. One of the recurrent themes through the series is a staircase that appears to have no logical sense. Players walk through it to reach new challenges and then return to the common room. The design is reminiscent of Relativity, a lithographic work by Dutch artist Maurits Cornelis Escher, in which anonymous, identically dressed figures are depicted wandering through an illogical world that defies gravity. Here, the stairs become a labyrinth rather than a pathway leading to a specific place. Without adhering to any artistic movement of his time, Escher created different works where geometry, perspective, and science are reimagined to develop worlds that escape physical laws. Escher said that the stairs represented a pessimistic and profound element in his works. He was alluding to the fact that often we believe we're being led to a higher place when perhaps we're not going anywhere. Which is a similar case to what is happening to the contestants, don't you think? 3. La Muralla Roja by RICARDO BOFILL. If Escher's work was the inspiration for the structure of the stairs, Spanish postmodernist architect RICARDO BOFILL was undoubtedly the primary guide for color and design. His housing project La Muralla Roja, the Red Wall, bears a remarkable similarity to the stair room in the series, both representing a labyrinthine structure and a utopian aesthetic. In the settings of Squid Game, the colors which approach that of BOFILL indeed provide a greater illusion of space, making it difficult to follow the characters during the scenes on the stairs. The geometric and thick design is as reminiscent of BOFILL's architecture as it is of children's furniture. 4. The Dinner Party by JUDY Chicago. One of the most chilling scenes in the series takes place at a triangular table where the remaining players are invited to dinner. It's impossible not to compare the large triangular-shaped table and white tablecloths to painter and writer JUDY Chicago's famous artwork, The Dinner Party. One of the pioneers of American feminist art in the 70s, Chicago created a large installation to give a voice to the long list of women who contributed to the history of humankind, across various areas and disciplines. Each table is attributed to mythological figures and historical figures from various eras and fields, all of them women. Their names are embroidered in each place, and JUDY assigned them pictures or symbols that represent them, such as a napkin, cooking utensils, a glass or mug and a plate. Some accessories are in the shape of a butterfly or a flower, vulvar symbols. JUDY Chicago made this installation for the purpose to end the continual cycle of omissions, by which women are absent from the archives of history. It is therefore funny to find this same triangular table in this scene of episode 8 of the series. Indeed, player 067 is seated with players 456 and 218, but she is in a weak position in front of them. While discreetly bleeding, the two men enjoy their meal as well as the wine offered by the organizers. 5. The Empire of Light by RENÉ MAGRITTE. One of the more obvious artistic references made by the series director Hwang Dong-hyuk is undoubtedly to the works of Belgian surrealist painter RENÉ MAGRITTE. In a scene in the second episode, various books and paintings by Magritte are visible, including one of his most iconic paintings, The Empire of Light, in which Magritte incorporates two opposites, day and night. One of the most influential artists of the Surrealist movement, René Magritte, was drawn to visual concepts that resulted in an oxymoron. In the case of this piece, the night in the lower half works in contrast to the lit-up sky in the top half. 6. The Rothschild Surrealist Ball. In addition to being one of the wealthiest families in the world, the Rothschilds were known for hosting one of the most extravagant and infamous parties in the world. With guests such as Catalan painter Salvador Dalí and actress Audrey Hepburn, this European dynasty of Judeo-German origin brought together the world's wealthiest and most influential people for a surreal party that sparked everything from conspiracy theories to urban legends. The extravagance and waste of one of the key scenes in the series directly reference the unbridled power of the elites at this event. The event was held in 1972 in the luxurious Château Ferrières in France. The party is widely recognized as one of the most extravagant in the history of the last century. Guests had to wear animal masks, and the waiting staff was dressed as felines. In popular culture, the event transcended beyond a party supposedly as an Illuminati and satanic celebration. Would this ball and this outfit have inspired the creation of the VIP animal masks? Because in the series too, we understand quite quickly that VIPs are part of the upper class. They are rich and need to have fun in a rather surprising environment, like the guests at the Rothschild ball. In addition, as they observe the game of the bridge, they are also in a surreal setting, depicting a jungle, with masked waiters and women serving as furniture, reminiscent of the ambience of the Surrealist ball. 7. Hegel's Holiday by René Magritte. Confirming the director's deep admiration for Magritte, Huang doesn't miss the opportunity for another nod to the Belgian Surrealist artist with Hegel's Holiday. Magritte's famed umbrella makes an appearance in one of the series' most famous scenes, where the contestants are given Dalgona candy as part of a challenge. We won't tell you why, but the Dalgona is a key factor in causing high levels of distress. Magritte constantly created contradictions in his paintings, seeking to relate opposing concepts or objects in absurd ways. In this case, the idea was born from the artist's idea to present a glass of water in a way that it would not become indifferent to viewers. By incorporating an umbrella, an object that typically repels water, Magritte gave the glass of water visual power by creating a visual oxymoron. 8. The Creation of Adam by Michelangelo, in Episode 9. The creation of Adam represents the birth of the biblical Adam, according to the corresponding passage in the book of Genesis. God created man in his own image. The right arm of God carries life and goes towards Adam, stretched out in a mirror pose of God, reminding that man is created in the image of God. God's imminent contact with Adam will breathe life into him and give life to all mankind. It is therefore the birth of the human race. In this scene from the 9th episode of Squid Game, one can imagine that 456 is like God. He reaches out his hand towards 218, offering him a chance to live. His hand has in a way that spark of life illustrated in Michelangelo's fresco. Shaking his hand, 218 might have been endowed with the same selflessness as 456 and thus be reborn as a new man. But 218 chooses to kill himself, refusing the rebirth proposed by his opponent. With its sets, performances, cinematography, and special effects, the series manages to stand out, creating an atmosphere that combines the perverse with the childish, creating spaces and scenes that are difficult to forget. These amazing references reveal the director's creative inspirations and give the series an even deeper meaning. What other smart artistic references have we missed? Let us know in the comments. Which one surprised you the most? Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next one.